Good evening, everyone. Today we are in our week 7 of live interactive session for the subject Animal Physiology. I am Amrita, a PhD student from University of Hyderabad, and I have been taking live interactive sessions for the course Animal Physiology. This information is for them who have joined newly to the class, and we have already completed 6 weeks of live interactive sessions. In these live interactive sessions, we discuss the previous year questions of the assignments for this course, and you must have got the current year assignment questions. So this is like a revision class so that you can get an idea of how to solve the current year assignment questions. Okay, and we were discussing the neural system from the last few weeks, and today we have again a 10 set of questions from that topic as well. And yes, I guess everyone knows the rules of the class. Please do not unmute your audio or video. We will interact through the chat box. Okay, I'm repeating again, no unmuting of audios and videos. We will interact through the chat box. Whatever doubts, whatever queries you have, please write it down in the chat box. I will see it. Okay, so today we have 10 set of questions, very easy and very basic questions. I think if you all have attended the lecture and have joined the class, you can definitely answer it. Okay, and yes, I say every time in the class that you must attend the lecture of that particular week before joining the class. Then only it will be helpful to you. Otherwise, you will be blank and won't understand how to answer the question. Okay, so be regular with the lectures and keep revising. Okay, these questions are very important from the exam point of view, the previous year questions, the current year questions as well. Okay, you will be having questions of type of MCQ as well as subjective questions for your exams. So both of them matters. Okay. Okay, so we'll start. It's already 7:18. It's high time we'll start the class. And the rule is I will show you the question. Will give you around 1 to 2 minutes of time, and you can think and answer your choice of correct answer in the chat box. Okay, write down your choice of correct answer in the chat box. I will see it, and then after some time we'll discuss what is the correct answer to that question, and we will discuss a correct explanation for that answer as well. Okay, so this is the pattern. I'll give you time, you think about the correct answer and answer it. Okay, so we'll start with the first question of the session. I hope my audio is clear and my slides are visible. If anyone is having any problem related to that, you can write down in the chat box. Okay, so guessing that everything is fine, I'll start with the first slide. First question: what part of the brain is majorly affected by Alzheimer's disease? What part of the brain is majorly affected by Alzheimer's disease? Amygdala, substantial nigra, hippocampus, Singer complex. I'll repeat the question one more time. What part of the brain is majorly affected by Alzheimer's disease? Amygdala, substantial nigra, hippocampus, Singer complex. Your time starts now. Okay, no problem. That's great. Start answering the question. Whoever is present, everyone should be active throughout the class and try to answer the question. Okay? Even if it is wrong, doesn't matter. We will definitely discuss the correct explanation, the correct answer, but you should attend the question first. Okay? So try to answer it. Okay, everyone done? Okay, let's discuss what is the correct answer to the first question. It is C, hippocampus. So, hippocampus is a part of the brain which is majorly affected by Alzheimer's disease, as you can see here in the figure. So, what happens at first? Alzheimer's disease typically destroys the neurons and their connection in parts of the brain involved in memory. The main symptom of Alzheimer's disease is memory related abnormalities, right? So this includes the entorhinal cortex and the hippocampus. Cortex was not in the options, hippocampus was in the options. So hippocampus is the correct answer. It later affects areas in the cerebral cortex responsible for language, reasoning and social behavior. So here you can see where is the entorhinal cortex and the hippocampus present in the brain, right? And here also you can see in this picture the difference between a healthy brain and a Alzheimer's brain. You can see the plaques formed and how the diseased neuron looks like because of the formation of the amyloid beta and tangles, interfibrillary tangles, which leads to Alzheimer's. Okay, and how a healthy neuron looks like and how a diseased neuron looks like. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Second, pyramidal neurons are unipolar, bipolar, multipolar, all of the above. Pyramidal neurons are unipolar, bipolar, multipolar, all of the above. Start answering. I'm getting multiple answers from multiple people. Okay, we'll see what is the correct answer. Okay, let's see what is the correct answer to second question. I think everyone has given the answers. So the correct answer is C, multipolar. Pyramidal neurons are multipolar in nature. So here you can see the examples of multipolar neurons. They are motor neurons, pyramidal neurons and Purkinje cells. So what are pyramidal cells exactly? So the pyramidal cells or the pyramidal neurons are a type of multipolar neurons found in the areas of the brain including the cerebral cortex, the hippocampus and the amygdala. So these pyramidal cells are the primary excitation units of the mammalian prefrontal cortex and the corticospinal tract. So here you can see how the cell branches are multiple in these neurons leading to the name called the multipolar multipolar neurons, and they have all one axon and one dendrite and one tail end, whereas the dendrites in related to the cell body are multiple, which causes the name multipolar neurons. And pyramidal neuron is an example of the multipolar neuron. Along with that, motor neuron and Purkinje cells are also examples of multipolar neurons. Okay. Okay. We'll move on to the next question. Third question. What human ability is majorly affected by Alzheimer's disease? Motor control, hearing, sensory control, and memory. Already I have said the answer in the first question itself. So if you are attentive enough, I think you can answer this. What human ability is majorly affected by Alzheimer's disease? Motor control, hearing, sensory control, memory. Start answering. The questions you will get in the exam will be very simple, like you can see here. You must be also giving, like, solving the current year assignment questions. They are not very difficult questions, but if you don't go through the lectures, you won't be able to answer them. So revising the lectures on a continuous basis is necessary. Okay. Okay, everyone is done with the answer. Okay, let's see what is the correct answer, because already I said that memory related abnormalities is the major symptom in case of Alzheimer's disease. So memory is the type of human ability which is majorly affected by Alzheimer's disease. Here you can see the memory related problems that comes with Alzheimer's disease, like confusion with time and location, difficulty completing familiar tasks, misplacing items, difficulty solving problems, memory loss, withdrawal from social activities, poor judgment, trouble with images and spaces, unfound emotions, and difficulty with conveying your words. So all of these are related to memory abnormalities, out of which memory loss is the key symptom of Alzheimer's disease. So the early signs include difficulty remembering recent events or conversations, but memory gets worse and other symptoms like all of these included here as the disease progresses. So first what happens, someone with the disease may be aware of having trouble remembering things and thinking clearly. This is the initial symptom of Alzheimer's disease, and it becomes worse with age and time. Okay, good. We'll move on to the fourth question. What human ability is majorly affected by Parkinson's disease? Motor control, hearing, sensory control, memory. The same options, but this time the disease is different. Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease are two of the major neurodegenerative disorders, which is a talk of the science and research, right? So we all are well aware of these terms, but we need to know what causes them, what are the symptoms, and what are the drugs developed for these particular diseases, right? Okay, start answering fourth question. And yes, if you want to do that, you can note how many correct answers and how many wrong answers you're giving. So at last, I want to see how much marks you got out of 10. Okay, so keep a track of how many correct answers and how many wrong answers you're giving. Okay, this will help you track your progress from session to session. Okay, I think everyone is done. We will see what is the correct answer to this question. It is A, motor control. I think everyone has given the correct answer. So motor control is the type of human ability which is majorly affected in Parkinson's disease. So here you can see the same way this figure depicts the brain physiological difference between a non-Parkinson's person and a Parkinson's patient. You can see the physiology has changed between the substantia nigra part of the brain. So what are the symptoms exactly, which is called as like motor control abnormalities? First is tremor at rest, such as light hand or foot tremor, then rigidity like stiffness of limbs, neck or shoulders, then difficulty in balancing that leads to postural instability, slowness of movement or gradual loss of spontaneous movement, which is termed as bradykinesia. So, the pathophysiology of Parkinson's disease is the death of dopaminergic neurons as a result of changes in the biological activity in the brain with respect to Parkinson's disease. Okay, we'll discuss about Parkinson's disease in detail in the upcoming questions. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Fifth, neuronal processes in what part start to die off in Parkinson's disease? Neuronal processes in what part start to die off in Parkinson's disease? Amygdala, substantial nigra, hippocampus, and Prebotzinger complex. Start answering. Okay, everyone is done. Let's see what is the correct answer to this question. It's B, substantial nigra, right? So the neuronal processes, like showed in the previous figure itself, right? So the neuronal processes in the substantial nigra first starts to die off in case of Parkinson's disease. Right, so why it starts to die off? Because of the Lewy body formation, right? So the protein alpha synuclein has increased presence in the brains of Parkinson's disease patients, and as alpha synuclein is insoluble, it aggregates to form Lewy bodies in neurons. As you can see here, the brown color circle is a Lewy body formed due to the aggregation of a protein called alpha synuclein and is the major cause of Parkinson's disease. So, Lewy bodies first appear in the olfactory bulb, medulla oblongata, and pontine tegmentum, and patients at this stage are asymptomatic. So first, when Lewy bodies are in these parts of the brain, the symptoms doesn't come. But as the disease progresses, Lewy bodies develop in the substantia nigra, areas of the midbrain and basal forebrain, and in the neocortex. So when the progression of Lewy bodies starts to develop in these parts of the brain, that's when you start getting the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, which is instability in the motor control related things, right? Okay, we'll move on to the next question. What neurotransmitter was originally secreted by neurons before dying off in Parkinson's disease? GABA, glutamate, dopamine, caffeine. What neurotransmitter was originally secreted by neurons before dying off in Parkinson's disease? GABA, glutamate, dopamine, caffeine. Start answering. Everyone needs to answer. Okay. Okay. Let's see what is the correct answer to this question. The correct answer is C, dopamine. Okay, dopamine is the neurotransmitter which is majorly involved in regulation of Parkinson's disease, which is secreted by the neurons. So here you can see dopaminergic neurons are the neurons which secrete dopamine, obviously, are the most abundant type of neuron in the substantia nigra, a part of the brain regulating motor control and learning. So dopamine is a neurotransmitter that modulates the activity of the motor neurons in the central nervous system. The activated motor neurons then transmit their signals via action potential to motor neurons in the spinal cord. However, when a significant percentage of the motor neurons die, about 50 to 60%, this death of motor neurons is due to the formation of Lewy bodies, as we discussed in the previous question. This decreases the dopamine levels by up to 80%. And this inhibits the ability of neurons to generate and transmit a signal. Due to the decrease in levels of dopamine, there is a loss of transmission of signal, which leads to the Parkinsonian gait, like the motor function abnormalities, which is called as Parkinsonian gait, like deficiency in the balance, posture, and instability of the posture, right? Which we discussed already, with symptoms such as hunched and slowed walking or tremors. This is how a person looks like who is suffering from Parkinson's disease. He will have difficulty in walking, will have tremors continuously, won't be able to stand properly, the posture will be incorrect, the whole body won't be stable while walking, right? Okay, I think many things are clear about Parkinson's disease now. So, Parkinson's disease is a type of disease which causes imbalances in the motor control, and it is generally happened in the brain in the part of substantia nigra due to the physiological changes in the substantia nigra. So, what happens exactly in the substantia nigra? Alpha synuclein, a protein that is highly present in Parkinson's disease, starts to aggregate as it is insoluble in nature and forms Lewy bodies, which is the cause of Parkinson's disease. So these Lewy bodies lead to the death of the neurons, and due to the death of the neurons, there is deficiency in the transmission of a signal due to decrease in the dopamine levels, and this causes the Parkinson's symptoms, right? Okay, we'll move on to the seventh question. Which of the following is a treatment for Parkinson's disease? L-GABA, D-GABA, L-DOPA, D-DOPA. This is a very famous drug, we can say, which is, or a therapy you can say, given for Parkinson's disease patients. I think everyone should know it. See, L-DOPA, this is what you think. Okay, let's see what is the correct answer to this question. The correct answer is L-DOPA, right? Everyone has given the correct answer. So L-DOPA is the very famous treatment for Parkinson's disease, but even that has its own limitations, right? So, L-DOPA, also known as levodopa, is often viewed as the first line drug for the management of Parkinson's motor symptoms. Obviously, it is not a drug which can cure Parkinson's disease. It can control the symptoms of the Parkinson's disease, right? So, levodopa in pill form is absorbed in the blood from the small intestine and travels through the blood to the brain where it is converted into dopamine. So, it is able to cross the blood-brain barrier, and when it goes to the brain, it is converted into dopamine. So levodopa is almost always given in combination with the drug carbidopa, which reduces or prevents the nausea that levodopa alone can cause. So carbidopa, levodopa is delivered in many forms, including immediate release, controlled release, or time released. In addition to pills and capsules, it is also available as an intestinal gel and inhaler. So these are the some of the other inhibitors which are discovered for Parkinson's disease, but L-DOPA is the famous one. So what does L-DOPA do? When it is transmitted into the brain, it is converted to dopamine, and it initiates the transmission, which is affected due to the presence of Lewy bodies and due to the decrease in the dopamine levels, which causes the Parkinsonian gait or the Parkinson's symptoms. So by giving dopamine from the outside, we regulate those dopamine levels and manage the Parkinson's motor symptoms. Okay, I hope this is clear. We'll move on to the next question. Which of the following is not a glial cell? Astrocytes, oligodendrocytes, Schwann cells, neurons. Start answering. Whoever is joining late, I want to say them. Please unmute. Sorry, please mute your audio first of all. And yes, whoever is joining late, I want to convey them that already we are in the eighth question, right? The questions are not that lengthy, and the Uzma Manzoor, can you please mute your audio? Okay. So as I was saying that people who are joining late, first of all, the time is 7 o'clock. I wait till 7:15 so that everyone can join. Okay. But you all should join by 7 to 7:15. And after that, the questions are not that lengthy. The explanation doesn't take that much of a time. So if you join by 7:45, only there are 2 to 3 questions to answer. So if that's what you want, you're most welcome. But if you want to attend all the questions and practice all the 10 questions here, please be on time. Okay? Okay, I think this was a very simple question. We'll see what is the correct answer to this question. It is neurons. So astrocytes, oligodendrocytes, Schwann cells, all are types of glial cells, whereas neurons are not a type of glial cells. So what are glial cells exactly? So glial cells are a type of cell that provides physical and chemical support to neurons and maintain their environment. Located in the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, glial cells are sometimes called the glue of the nervous system as well as neuroglia or just glia. So what is their main function? They provide physical and chemical support to neurons and maintain their environment. So they are present all around the neurons. Okay. So neuron is not a part of the glial cell, but glial cells are part of neurons and are present in and around the neurons to support it. Okay, simple. We'll move on to the ninth question. Programmed cell death is called apoptosis, necrosis, cell injury, external chemical induced inflammation. Start answering. Programmed cell death is called apoptosis, necrosis, cell injury, external chemical induced cell inflammation. Very simple question. I think everyone knows what is apoptosis and what is necrosis. Two famous terms, right? Whoever is studying cell biology, they should know it definitely. Okay, let's see what is the correct answer to this question. The correct answer is obvious, apoptosis, right? So programmed cell death is called as apoptosis. So here you can see the steps of the apoptosis. This is a normal cell. So when the cell is going to undergo apoptosis, first what will happen? The nucleus, etc., the chromatin condensation will happen. Then the cell will start to, the membrane of the cell will start to bleb out. That is called as the membrane blebbing. You can see how it is occurring, and then there will be a nuclear collapse and apoptotic body formation will start. So in detail, if we see, apoptosis is the process of programmed cell death. So where it is used? It is used during early development to eliminate unwanted cells. For example, those between the fingers of a developing hand. So these here, whatever cells were there, those were dead due to apoptosis. They were programmed to be dead due to apoptosis. That's why we have gaps between our fingers. It's a very famous example of apoptosis. In adults, apoptosis is used to rid the body of the cells that have been damaged beyond repair. So in adults, apoptosis is used to get rid of the dead cells and or the damaged cells which are beyond repair, the cells which cannot be repaired. And apoptosis also plays a very major role in preventing cancer. If apoptosis is for some reason prevented, it can lead to uncontrolled cell division and the subsequent development of a tumor. So how does cancer cause? Where there is no apoptosis, and it goes on dividing, the cells go on dividing and metastasize to different parts of the body and lead to tumor. Okay. So we are at the 10th question. This is the last question of this session of week 7, and it is the jumping of nerve impulse from one node of Ranvier to another is called orthodormic conduction, antidormic conduction, saltatory conduction, or action potential. Start answering. C. Saltatory conduction. Okay. Okay, everyone has given the answer as saltatory conduction. We will see it is correct or not. Yes, it is correct. So the jumping of nerve impulse from one node of Ranvier to another is called saltatory conduction. The definition is clear enough, but still we can see here through a figure how the saltatory conduction looks like. There is transmission of the charge from one node of Ranvier to another, which is called as the jumping of the nerve impulse from one node to another in the axon, right? So this is called as saltatory conduction. Okay, with this we are at the end of our session. Does anyone have any doubts, or can we disperse and meet again on next Tuesday? Actually, the class was not today. Like, my day is Tuesday when I take the live interactive session, but I had to schedule the class due to some prior meeting. And but from the next week again, we will have it on Tuesday. But Tuesday is Ganesh Puja. I know. I don't know how many people are celebrating it, but there is no holiday for this class. We will have it at the same time. That is 7 p.m. in the evening. Okay, so whoever wants to join the live class, they're most welcome to join. Also, I'm recording the classes. Whoever is unable to join, obviously, I will be uploading my recording sessions, like the recorded sessions in my YouTube channel. And I hope everyone is getting the link of these YouTube videos, and you can go through it again. Okay, so that's not a problem. Like, enough material is there for you all to practice. The only thing that is needed is your attention and focus towards the lectures and the live interactive sessions. That is the one which is going to fetch you knowledge as well as marks. Okay, so any questions, or should we stop? Should we disperse? We'll meet again on Tuesday. Okay. Okay, anyone wants to share their marks? How much marks you got out of 10? What is your score? I want to know if anyone wants to share. That's all. No one? No one wants to share how much marks they got out of 10? Okay, Archana got 10 out of 10. That's very good. Very nice, Archana. Anyone else? Sheila Das, 9 out of 10. That's also very good score. Okay, Khushbu Kumari Kushwaha, 7. Okay. I think you need to practice a little more, Khushbu. Go through the lectures again. You are not bad, but you need a little bit of brush up of the questions where you were wrong. Okay, I don't know exactly where you were wrong, but you know it better than me. And go back and revise the lectures wherever you felt that you need a little more brush up. Okay, okay, great, great, everyone. And this class is everyone who is watching through a live session or through a recorded session. And I hope everything's were clear, and the questions are very simple and easy. You don't need much of a thinking if you know the facts correctly. Okay, so we'll disperse. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet again on Tuesday 7 p.m. Okay, whoever wants to join the live interactive session, please don't be late to the class. Okay, that's only your loss. Anyway, I will teach. If one person is there or 100 students are there, that doesn't matter to me. I'll teach and go. But what matters is how much you are able to practice efficiently through these live interactive sessions. These sessions are only for you people so that you can practice better and get a better score and output out of the course you have applied to, right? Okay, okay, everyone, thank you, everyone. Thank you.